Hey y'all, this is William from Perma Pastures Farm, and before we get into today's video, I just wanted to announce that I have new spoons, cups, bowls, small bowls, and also traditional Swedish butter knives now available on the website. If there's something that you're wanting that you don't see on the website, contact me through permapasturesfarm@gmail.com, or also direct message me on Instagram and we can figure something out. Thank you.
Hey y'all, Billy from Perma Pastures Farm. Thought I'd pick a different setting for this. How cool is that, man? These pigs are back there chilling. They're in the new spot. Wow. Well, probably, I'm not sure how William puts these videos out, but we're basically going to talk about how they got there. Today's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to tell you my experience with Canada. Okay? You may not like some of it. So I'm just going to lay it out right straight up. Okay, years ago, the first time I was in Canada, I was a paratrooper at the time, and I was at Camp Petawawa getting my Canadian jump wings. Beautiful place. Beautiful, wonderful soldiers. Very, very different soldiers. When we had a little bit of time off, we'd go into town, and then later on when we had a little bit more time off, I think we were there for like 2 weeks, we ended up going into Ottawa. Second cleanest city I've ever been to in my life, bar none. Okay? People were friendly, wonderful, kind. The only complaint I would have is that, and I know this is going to sound weird, but those of you that adhere to man law, you'll understand what I'm saying. Every time me and my buddies would go somewhere, let's say, I remember we were in Ottawa. First time I went to the bathroom, okay, it's kind of a written law here in the States that when you go into a stall, to your left and to your right, okay, there's like rules that happen there, at least in the States. You know what? If there's an opportunity to put a stall between you and the next guy, you adhere to that. And under no circumstances do you ever have a discussion. And certainly, you're like at the position of attention, y'all, and you never do either one of those, right? But in Canada, at least in Ottawa, the only complaint I had, they were so incredibly friendly that the guys would literally have a talk to you when you were going, in the stall. Look, y'all, I'm raised in the type of environment that guys never ever talk in a bathroom. In fact, I am not even permitted, if you were to burst into flames next to me, I am not even permitted to redirect my aim to put you out. That's just how it goes. I didn't make the rules. It's just what it is. With that said, though, Canadians were by far unbelievably friendly, almost so friendly coming from the States and the part of the world I'm from that I was like, are these people even real? But they were very, very sweet. Second time I was in Canada was years later. I was on my way to the Queen Charlotte Islands to do some salmon and halibut fishing, okay? That's a whole story unto itself. But we stopped off for a few days in Vancouver. Number one cleanest city I've ever seen in my life. And number one friendliest people, even more than Ottawa. So Ottawa, clearly, I was here on different sides, and these people in Vancouver were unbelievably friendly. Like nothing I ever seen. I remember, I'll just tell a brief story where I was getting on a city bus, and it was during the week. There was nobody on the bus, save maybe, 5 people at the very most. And typically being who I am, I position myself in the back like I always do wherever I find myself. Call it a habit, whatever. I'm in the back of the bus. Yeah, I know there's an obvious joke there, but I'm going to avoid it. I'm in the back of the bus. We pull up to a stop as we're in the middle of Vancouver, just driving around in this bus. This lady gets up. Now, there's also another man law when it comes to, we always like our space, okay? Bottom line, we love having our space. But sure enough, this young lady gets up, gets on the bus, comes all the way to the back, and asks, "May I sit next to you?" I'm like, okay, yeah, this woman's clearly as crazy as a 3-headed cat because there's so many seats in here. Why on earth? There's an entire bus full of seats, but she sits down next to me. She starts talking, and she's, extraordinarily friendly. And I don't think I heard anything she was saying because I'm trying to process the fact that, okay, you got all these seats and you're going to sit next to me. Finally, I just blurted it out as politely as I could imagine, as politely as I could manage. And I said, Miss, I got to know. There are all these seats on this bus. Why on earth did you choose to sit next to me? And then as quick as a wink, like she didn't even think about it, she says, you're from the States, right? And I was like, okay. She said, no Canadian would have ever asked me that. So she says, do you want me to leave? I'm like, no. I'm so sorry. I just had to know because this sort of thing just doesn't happen where I come from. So we had this great conversation and, she got off the bus and then I eventually got off. The kindest people I've ever met in any country I've ever been, Canada. Okay, your experience may be different, but that's mine. They were without a doubt the kindest, most polite. And I could tell you numerous other stories about how this guy who barely knew me lent me his fishing tackle. And apparently these were like keepsakes to him. It was extraordinary kindness I witnessed in Canada. So 2 things I want to kind of end this video with. If you see Canadians tripping, then you ought to be asking yourself the reasons why. And number 2, don't ever talk to me when I'm standing at the stall. All right, y'all, we'll see you next time.